Assalamu alaikum. In today's lesson, we're gonna study how to talk about past and present habits using used to and usually. Okay, let's look at this example. I usually get up at 8 during the week. This means I'm talking about a habit in the present. This is what I do every day during the week. I get up at 8. If you would like to talk about a repeated activity in the present, use usually. Look at this example. I don't normally go out during the week. In this situation, we're also talking about a repeated activity in the present. So instead of using usually, you can use normally. I don't normally go out during the week. Houses in the suburbs usually have yards. One more time, we're using usually here. So if you would like to talk about repeated actions or repeated activities in the present time, use usually or normally, or just use the present simple, because the present simple, by definition, talks about habits in the present time. However, if you like to talk about past habits, you should use used to. Like this example. We used to go to the beach for our vacation when I was a child. So this was our habit in the past. We did this many times in the past, but we don't do this now. It's not something that we do now. We stopped doing this in the present time. He didn't used to do any exercise, but now he runs marathons. So you can use it in the negative form. You can use didn't, and after didn't, use the infinitive. Didn't use, not didn't used to. Instead of using didn't, you may choose to use never. No problems. It's also acceptable. I never used to like hockey, but I watch it every week now. You can also use used to in the question form. Did they used to live downtown? Remember to use the infinitive after did, not used to. You may also decide to make a negative question. Didn't you used to have long hair? So that's a negative question. Okay, now used to or the simple past. If you would like to talk about a repeated action or a repeated state in the past, use used to, like this example. I used to live in Miami when I was a child. I don't live there anymore now. So we should use used to here in this situation. However, if the action happened only one time, you should use the past simple. I went to Paris last year, one time only. So it's wrong here to say, I used to go to Paris last year. No, that's wrong, not acceptable. Anymore and any longer. We often use not anymore or not any longer with the simple present to contrast with used to, like this example. I used to go to the gym, but I don't go anymore, or I don't go any longer. So that was my habit in the present, and now I don't do that anymore. Be used to. If you want to talk about a habit in the present, you may use be used to plus the verb plus ing, like this example. I am used to getting up early. Okay, we use verb to be here, am or is or are, plus used to, plus the verb, plus ing. And this is used to talk about a habit in the present, not a habit in the past. So it's different from everything we studied before. Before we talked about using used to talk about a habit in the past. And now we're talking about a habit in the present, not in the past. Okay. Get used to. Get used to means to acquire a new habit, to make a change in your life, to have a habit that you didn't have before, to make a change, to make a difference. Like this example, Amira can't get used to living in the United States. She is not able to acquire this habit. She's not able to make this change in her life. We use get plus used to plus the verb plus ing. Okay, let's practice a little bit. All you have to do is to complete using used to in the affirmative or negative or question form and choose a verb from the list. So you're gonna choose one of these verbs and then you're gonna use used to in the affirmative or negative or question form. Take some time, pause the screen, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and then I'm gonna show you the correct answers shortly. Okay, Here are the answers. We used to have a lot in common, but now we're completely different. Affirmative, used to have. I didn't used to spend much time online, but now I'm addicted to Facebook. Negative. Question 4. Did your fiance used to wear glasses? He looks different now. Did use, not did used. I used to go out with my classmates, but now I spend all my time with my boyfriend. Affirmative. Where did your husband use, not used to work before he got the job in the bank? Let's take more exercises. Do the same thing. Use used to in the affirmative or negative or question 4 and a verb from the list here. Okay, time for me to show you the correct answers. If you need more time, you can pause the video. My sister lost a lot of weight. She didn't used to be so slim. Didn't used to be. We're going to use verb to be. Did you used to argue a lot with your parents when you were a teenager? To argue. I didn't used to like Japanese food, but now I eat a lot of sushi. I used to like. Laura used to get along well with her roommate, but now they don't talk to each other. Used to get along. My ex didn't used to speak to me, but now he calls me a lot. Negative form. Didn't use, not didn't used to. Okay. Let's continue practicing. This is a different exercise. Are the highlighted verbs right or wrong? The highlighted parts here, do they have any mistakes in them? Maybe some of these sentences don't have mistakes and the others do have mistakes. If you think that a sentence has a mistake in it, correct it. Take your time, pause the screen, and then I'm going to show you the correct answers. Okay, time for the answers now. His parents not used to split because this is something that happened one time only. It's not a repeated action. It's not. So you're just going to say his parents split up. You're just going to use the past. The past of split is also split. It's an irregular verb. So his parents split up after he was born. That's it. Remove used to. Do you usually tell a close friend about your problems? This is correct. No mistakes. I didn't used to like my math teacher when I was in school. That's incorrect. Why? Because after didn't, you're supposed to use the infinitive. I didn't use to like my math teacher. They used to go on vacation every year. This is correct. If you feel that it's incorrect and you want to change it and use usually, you can change it. You can use usually, but there is nothing wrong with the sentence. You're trying to say that this was our habit in the past. We did this every year and we don't do this now. So this sentence in itself, it's not wrong. They used to go on vacation every year. That's not wrong. That couple has 3 kids, so they don't used to go or don't usually go. Don't used to, that's wrong. That's wrong. As we said before, we use used to talk about a habit in the past, not a habit in the present. So we have to change this. So you should say they don't usually go out at night. Or just use the present simple, so they don't go out at night. Now look at these sentences. Also, you need to decide if there are any mistakes in them. If there is a mistake, you need to correct it. Okay, now it's time for me to show you the answers. That's incorrect. The first sentence is incorrect. Where did your parents used to meet? No, I'm saying when they first went out, the first time when they went out, when did they meet? Where did they meet? So remove used to and just use meet. Where did your parents meet when they first went out? It's one time. It's not a repeated action. My husband used to work for a bank. Past? No, use used, not use. Used to work for a bank, but now he's unemployed. And finally, we love the theater. We usually go to a play at least once a month. That's our habit in the present. It's not wrong to use usually, so there's no mistake in the sentence. I hope today's lesson was useful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And that's it. Assalamu alaikum.